What's up, everybody? This your boy Trayvon here with Scent Talk TV, and today I'm going to do two full reviews from the house of Milestone. Now, these two fragrances in particular, they are trying to dupe two niche quality fragrances from the house of Mouj. Now, I cannot do a full comparison between those two because I do not, nor have I ever smelled the original Mouj fragrances that the House of Milestone is trying to dupe of. I don't have them, nor have I smelled them, so forgive me. However, without further ado, let's just jump into it. So, starting off with this one from the House of Milestone, we have Mouj Intimate Eau de Parfum. Now, judging by the bottle and judging by the way that it looks, some or most of you know what this is a dupe of, and I'm just going to leave that up to you and just keep it to myself and just skip the formalities of that. So let's just jump into it. This fragrance here ran me $15 and some change. The atomizer on here is lovely as usual. Just like all the other Milestone bottles, this one here is no different. Beautiful atomizer. So, based off that one spray, it is choking me out very, very much. This is a very, very strong masculine scent, which is a definite try before you buy. Do not blind buy this. If you have the opportunity to walk into TJ Maxx and Marshalls and see this loosely outside of a box, which normally that it already is, and it's always outside of the box, but I digress. Test this first. Don't just buy it. Spray it on yourself, walk around the store, and see how you like it, because this one is very, very aggressive in the terms of the masculinity that's in this fragrance. However, it is attractive and appealing to the experienced noses, okay, that has a lot of experiences with fragrances. If you're new to fragrances, you might not like this quite a bit, because it does have a heavy dose of earthiness, masculinity, smokiness, heftiness, a lot of aggressive, bold maturity to it, to the point where it can throw a lot of people off. If you're the type of person that's looking for compliments, you might not get it with this one, because this one goes in a completely different direction and all over the place at the same time. So moving right along, let's get into those notes. So the notes are, in the top you got some sweet pepper oil, bergamot, and wild thyme, oregano. In the mid you have some traditional spices, including some frankincense, opoponax, and myrrh, amber, labdanum. And in the base you got sandalwood, agarwood, leather, and patchouli. Now, I did go on Fragrantica and looked up the original Mouj Interlude Man, which is the original of this. This fragrance is trying to dupe that one, and they're basically the same in terms of the note breakdown. The same exact notes and everything. The same note breakdown, everything from the top to the mid and the base notes. Basically the same. At least that's all that I could find, because fragrances like this is kind of hard to pinpoint where exactly is the official note breakdown. So with all the digging that I've done, this is what I came up with. But if any of you guys have the official note breakdown and the one that I've listed is not the correct one, just leave the correct one in the comment section below. In the top, you do get a nice amount of green spices. The spice is like green, not too aggressive. It's like, moderately, spicy in the opening. And that bergamot that's inside of here is not too noticeable. You do get like a smoky, like fruitiness that is, kind of zesty and like, fruity a little bit, but it's drowned out a lot. It is it's drowned out a lot with all the other notes that's heavy, because this fragrance has a lot of hefty notes in it that's really heavy and dense and bold and invasive and aggressive all over the place through and through. you know, that bergamot is not really making itself too noticeable because it is a light fragrance and is being dominated by everything else. So it's very, very faint in the opening. But once you get into that mid, though, it does get a little bit more sweet, warm, and smoky with that incense. You know, the amber and papanox, you know, make it a little bit more sweeter and a little bit more earthy and mature and masculine. Until you get to the base notes, you know, the argar wood, you get some of that oud. You know, the oud is not that, you know, that stank oud. It's not that, you know, that high end type of a oud. It's just you know, a cheap smelling oud. But the oud in here does smell pretty nice based off a $15 and some change fragrance. You would probably expect the oud to be a little bit cheap smelling, but surprisingly, inside of here, it's doing this thing quite nicely. You know, you do get some leather and some saddlewood. The saddlewood gives you like a creamy smooth woodsiness. Leather is there, but it's more of a, you know, bourbon-like, you know, smoky leather in terms of that leather and that incense mixing in very well with each other doing this thing. The patchouli is like a dark, you know, sweet, earthy touch to it, just a little bit. But overall, bold, leathery, incensey type of a fragrance that's earthy, green, and masculine with a little bit of a sweet appeal to it that will bring people, or at least the people with experienced noses, to appreciate it, bring them in to you a little bit closer. But the only way that they can come in a little bit closer is that you do not overspray with this. If you overspray with this, you are going to drown yourself out as well as everybody else around you. Because just by one pressurized push of the atomizer, one long push, filled my room up, it's lingering, and that's all that I've smelled in this room. Because earlier I was spraying a bunch of fragrances all over the place, and I just got a mix of it in this room. But this fragrance here eliminated all those scents that I smelled earlier, and this is all that I can smell. That's how strong it is. That's how much of a beast it is. So tread softly with those sprays if you know what's good for you. That's all I gotta say. So the performance, you know, if you haven't guessed already, the performance on here is actually pretty nice. You know, I got a good solid 6 to 7 hours of total longevity. You know, it didn't really project, you know, like a beast in a like initially. It did, like, you know, within like the first hour, didn't set close to the skin. But thankfully, you know, it did set close to the skin like after an hour, because if you overspray with this like I did when I first wore this, I tested out the second time down the sprays down. The first time I tested this by overspraying, it was just, I didn't even have a scent bubble. I had like a scent aura, like a scent, I don't know. It's just, it pushed and pushed and pushed. And I'm at work, body amping up, like the body temperature is amping up, and it pushed even more. So man, be careful with this one. At least on my skin and my body chemistry, I gotta tread softly with this one, and I highly recommend that you do, but I'm talking too much. So yeah, the projection was good within an hour, set close to the skin. Total longevity 6 to 7 hours, which is beautiful in my opinion, if you down those sprays down. If you want to get a little bit more than that, overspray, and you will definitely get more longevity out of this one. But I highly recommend that you don't do it. Seasons to rock this one. Obviously, this is a fall and winter time fragrance. So mostly, you know, winter time, because you do have the warmer days in the fall time. But this is primarily wintertime fragrances, because this can and will have the strength to push through the cold. If that's what you're looking for, you will get it out of this one. You know, spring and summertime is a no. But if you want to wear it, however you want to wear it, when you want to wear it, that is solely up to you. Specifically, I would say this is winter time and maybe fall time when it's cooler. Now, as far as the ages that can wear this is definitely a middle age on up, if not just mature men only, because it does have a nice amount of maturity in here, and it does have amount of, you know, masculine notes that's inside of here, which is really not suited for all ages. It kind of, it doesn't have a lot of diversity in terms of, you know, age brackets. So I would say this is middle age on up due to the maturity and the notes that's inside of here, which makes it a lot more masculine and bold. So the younger guys probably is not going to appreciate this too much, but if you are a younger gentleman and you like it, wear it. Specifically middle age on up, if not just mature ages only. You know, middle age on up. So, final thoughts on this. Should you buy Mouj Intimate? Ladies and gentlemen, I solely put that on to you. That is for you to decide, because I want you guys to try this before you buy this. This is not a blind buy type of a fragrance. If you are jumping into this fragrance with the idea of that you're going to be, you know, instantly attracted to it, and you want to live dangerously and you want to go ahead and take that risk, by all means do so. But let me tell you, if your nose is not experienced enough to handle this type of fragrance, which has a lot of complexity to it in a good way, but don't, just try before you buy. That's all I gotta say. Just don't do it to yourself. So up next, and the final one from the house of Milestone, we have Mouj Affection, which is a clone or a dupe of Mouj's Reflection Man. Haven't smelled the original Mouj, which I do plan on in the future, but for right now, let's just jump into this one. This fragrance here ran me $15 and some change. The atomizer on this one is wonderful, just like the other one. So this one is way more pleasant, way more attractive and crowd pleasing than this one. This one has a dope like citrus orange green opening to it that is very bright and floral and fantastic in all of its ways for $15 and some change. This is a great banger of a fragrance from the house of Milestone, because it has a dope white floralness with green citruses and some sweet earthiness in the base of it, which kind of holds all of those light notes together, meshing it very well with each other quite a bit, holding its appeal. The base notes is what really captivated me also, but that opening is something precious, very precious. Also, I want to put out a little bit of a tidbit of information and like, you know, a FYI for you guys are wondering, what is this also a dupe of versus like the Mouj. This is also a dupe of a Gucci Guilty fragrance that came out last year called Gucci Guilty Elixir. Now that one is a head busting fragrance in terms of the price, and also a great smelling fragrance. It's within itself, and it smells just like this one, but you know, it's a little bit more well-rounded, more authentic, and you know, smoother. But hey, this right here is a good runner-up if you like that fragrance. So I'm talking too much, let's get into those notes. So in the top of this fragrance, we have rosemary, red pepper, berries, bitter orange leaves, as well as in the mid you got neroli, orris, jasmine, and ylang ylang. In the base you get some vetiver, patchouli, saddlewood, and cedarwood. Now these notes are the same exact notes of the Mouj fragrance, Reflection Man. So just like, you know, the other fragrance that I just got done presenting to you guys, if you guys know of an official note and that's not the right note breakdown, because that's the only note breakdown that I could find, leave it in the comment section below. Right off the top, you get some very dope green mintiness from the rosemary and a little bit of pink pepper, giving it like a sweet spice. In the petitgrain, that petitgrain gives it like a green, like citrusy, orange, like herbaceous note. With that, the petitgrain with that rosemary together is a beast of a duo. because that green citrus and mintiness that comes together between those two is phenomenal. But once you get into the mid notes, you get that jasmine, neroli, and that orris root. Jasmine and neroli. Neroli is like a green citrusy type of a white floral note that smells phenomenal, as well as that jasmine does the same thing with the with some more white florals that's brighten it up. All throughout this fragrance is bright, citrusy, green, and fantastic with some dope citrusy herbaceousness with throughout the longevity of this fragrance. Yeah, ylang-ylang gives it a little bit more fruity zestiness that's, you know, that's like kind of like the smell of bergamot, but a little bit more of a lemon zestiness coming from that ylang-ylang in my opinion. So once you get into that base notes, sandalwood, smooth and woodsy. Vetiver is like gives like a masculine dusty smokiness and stuff like that. That cedarwood is gives a little bit more spicy woodiness, as well as that patchouli giving it like a green sweet touch that's dark and also mysterious. But the patchouli is kind of like chilling in the background because mainly this fragrance through and through from start to finish, bright, citrusy, and green, as well as fruity with that orangey petitgrain with the herbaceousness from it. So through and through, that's what you get. A dope, like minty, like citrus, you know, green herbaceous type of a smell that's bright and floral and masculine in the base. And I think women can pull this off as well because, you know, it does have like that jasmine and that neroli giving it a little bit more of a feminine touch with that white floralness. But, you know, it does have that that unisex vibes when it comes to the base notes. So I'm pretty sure that, you know, women can pull this off too. If you like it, wear it. It doesn't matter. So the important part, the performance. Now, I'm going to be completely honest with you guys like I am in all of my videos. You know, in the beginning of this fragrance, when you first spray it on, it's just booming all over the place. Boom, 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 booming all over the place. And you're given the impression that, you know, this fragrance is gonna last you all day. It's gonna be a good projector, good longevity based on the initial experience of this fragrance, because in the initial stage of it, it's projecting like a beast. And like after like, you know, the 2 or 3 hour mark, it's just, you know, it comes and it goes. It's a weird one in terms of performance with me. You know, it'll come or it go. Maybe I got nose blind or something like that, but, you know, stumbling over my words. Maybe I just got nose blind or I don't know what the case may be. But anyway, the performance was meh. It was moderate, you know. 4 to 5 hours of decent longevity. Not weak, not a beast. 4 to 5 hours with projection within an hour, then it set close to the skin after that. And it became a skin scent after like the 2, maybe the 3 hour mark. Total longevity, 4 to 5 hours, which is not bad for the price. So when it comes to the seasons with this one, you know, it's very bright and green and citrusy. So this is a definite good, you know, spring and summertime fragrance, especially spring, because it does have that green herbaceousness that's very, very bright, like spring. You know, this is a great staple, a great representative for spring when spring finally gets here. So yeah, this would be a great fragrance for those 2 seasons. Not too much of fall, definitely not wintertime, but definitely those 2 seasons, spring and summertime. The age group that can wear this, I believe this fragrance has a high, you know, diverse, you know, age bracket to where all ages can pull it off. I don't think that it doesn't have a lot of complexity to it. I don't think it's not too youthful. You know, it has a nice balance between all ages in my opinion. So I believe that all ages can pull this off. So yeah, all ages can pull it off. Final thoughts, should you buy Mouj Affection? I really do highly recommend this fragrance over this one. If you want something compared to the 2, if you were to find 2 of these at the same time, I would definitely say buy both of them. But if you can only get one, I would say get this one, because this one is a little bit too complex, it's a little bit too masculine, and then a little bit it can turn a lot of people off based on or yourself off if you know wear fragrances for yourself. But you know, if you're the type of person that cares about, you know, what other people think, you definitely don't want to wear this one. This is more of a wear for yourself, travel before you buy. This one right here will give you the compliments and a little bit easier on your nose and everybody else's nose that's around you. So I would definitely go with this one first over this one. So that's all that I have for Scent Talk TV. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, you know what to do. You gotta like, comment, share, and subscribe, and make sure you hit that notification bell so you do not miss anything. And I will see you guys in the next video. Be safe out there and be blessed and have a good one. I'm out of here. Peace.